It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
It's showtime, everybody. Yes, I'm coming to you at a special time on this Friday. It is the Geno Jones Show. Normally, I come to you Monday through Friday. 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. But a special Friday later edition coming to you, right around 6:45. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe, share, and like to the Geno Jones channel. Share the Geno Jones Show on all your platforms. Screen grab some of the commentary, some of the show. Put it up on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Let's make it go viral. Let's create that viral moment, if you know what I'm saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, if you'd like to advertise, I'd love to have you. I'd be honored. And if you're looking for the ultimate pitch man to help build your brand, your business, to generate sales revenue, yes, sir. You hear what I'm saying? Not the king. I'm not the king. I'm the king of pitchmen. So you can leave me a message, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. I'll give you that information later. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick it off. Speaking of kickoff, last night, the National Football League regular season kicked off. MAGA Brady and the Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They don't suck anymore because they won the Super Bowl. Even though you had an injured Kansas City Chiefs team, I digress. Versus what some call America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The team that has the most obnoxious, delusional fan base in the history of humankind. But I found myself in a very odd position last night. So, on one hand, do I root for MAGA Brady? Do I root for Orange Hitler's boy? No way, never, no how, in no lifetime. I found myself rooting, dare I say, I'm afraid if the words come out of my mouth, I might choke. I was rooting for the Dallas Cowboys. What the hell is going on here? No. Oh my God. You see what MAGA can make you do? MAGA can drive you mad. MAGA can make you root for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm rooting for the black man in the leadership position, Dak Prescott. He outplayed MAGA Brady. Yeah, he did, but his team lost. As a matter of fact, before the game, Michelle Williams, formerly of Destiny's Child, sang a jazzy version of the national anthem. I hear that Michelle Williams, the Cowboys needed you to be their place kicker. Because you could have did better than the dude that missed, 2 field goals and an after point? So instead of singing the national anthem, you might have needed to go ahead and be the place kicker, or you could have helped out in running back. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I love Ezekiel Elliott, but I think Michelle Williams, I think you could have got more yards than Ezekiel Elliott. I definitely think you could have at least made 2 of them 3 field goals that are your boy, Mr. Greg the Leg Zerline. I digress, ladies and gentlemen. We want to make it fun for you. However, this weekend, tomorrow, marks a very solemn occasion. It'll be 20 years. 20 years ago, we were attacked. There were 19 men on 3 planes. All had Saudi Arabia passports. We now refer to that date as 9/11. You had 2 planes. One plane that flew into both of the World Trade Center towers, Twin Towers. One plane flew into one tower, and a couple minutes later, second plane flew into the north and south tower of the World Trade Center. 2 planes. Then there was a plane that flew into the Pentagon. Then there was a 3rd plane that was en route to the United States Capitol, but some brave, heroic passengers. Basically, in essence, they committed suicide. They were martyrs. They gave up their life so that plane could not be flown into the U.S. Capitol. 20 years ago tomorrow will mark 9/11, September 9th month, September 11th, 2001. My baby girl was born 6 weeks later. Wow, amazing. So we're going to talk about that. But right now, I want to bring somebody on the camera. Ladies, I missed her because we didn't do a show last Friday. There she is on camera, ladies and gentlemen. She needs no introduction. The sister's just bad. Media personality, entrepreneur, professor. I know I'm leaving out some stuff. Mother, homie, lover, friend to somebody, ladies and gentlemen, and my cohort in good trouble, my partner in good crime, ladies and gentlemen, got the blue, repping that sorority, repping the blue. Yes, that melanin, that black woman magic is in full display. Ladies and gentlemen, Keela Carson. What up,
Hello, G, and everybody else out there. What an awesome! I love the friend in good trouble. I just love that to even be associated in the same realm as John Lewis is such an honor. So thank you for that, Geno. And you two are my friend in good trouble. And so you ready to get into some good trouble?
Yes, you're not my friend. You're family. You are my sister by another mother.
Yeah. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now. It's really showtime. Also, so Key, listen, because we coming to the viewers at a special time. Unless you're watching this, binge watching the episode, so do that. Like, share, subscribe to the show, of course. So you can tell. Listen, that week, man, I'm energized. Even I went off for a week. I was off Friday and Monday. Allie, my youngest daughter, I spent Labor Day moving my daughter into her apartment. Second year college, Columbia College, Chicago. Shout out my alma mater. She is alma mater. She's a fashion designer in her second year. So I wasn't eating barbecue chicken. I didn't have chicken or fish on the grill. None of that. No corn on the cob. Brother was doing labor.
Well, while you were laboring, I was eating everything
for me and you.
I ate it all.
You say
macaroni and cheese, ribs, chicken. I'm trying to think. What didn't I eat?
What didn't you eat? Right.
Right. I ate the cup, the solo cup. I tore it up.
You ate everything but the ingredients on the bottle.
Hey, and I ate the bottle.
All right, so I am tossing. I'm tossing the mic. Tossing the mic to you. There's some really good television viewing, and because it's a heavy week, so at some point we're going to really need to take a break. We want to honor those that lost their lives, but we're going to need to at some point to refresh our soul and spirit. So I know you've got some good viewing to recommend to the people.
Okay, so we're going to start with the viewing.
That's fine.
All right, so I would implore everyone to, if you don't have Netflix, you know how to do it. You call your friend, your good ladies, your good Julie, your good Kiki. Geno, you call your bro, and you get the password. Come on.
Come on, you know how we do.
Come on. Everybody in my sorority, everybody got one account, and then we, okay, you got Hulu, you got Netflix, okay. That's how we roll. So, but anyway, so what I want to say is that on Netflix is a movie called Blood Brothers. And it is about the life and the relationship of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. They both had other names, we know that, but what they were or what they became
Cassius
Malcolm
Clay, Malcolm Little, and Cassius Clay.
That's right. And Cassius Clay would become Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. So this movie, if you don't know anything about their relationship, this is the movie or documentary to see.
Okay.
It is good. It clears up a lot of things which aggravate people. One of those things is that it is widely believed that Malcolm X introduced Muhammad Ali to the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
He did not.
Really? Wow.
See?
You got me on that one. I got to watch it just for that reason alone.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't go much into that, but in my readings, I have known that for years, but you don't bother to argue with people because it really doesn't matter. Right. He ended up at the Nation of Islam, but it explains how he really was introduced to the Nation of Islam. So I won't spoil it, but just know that that is a moment in the documentary.
Beautiful.
And then, but what really is the highlight of the film, the doc, is that you find out how their relationship broke down. Because you're talking about years that Malcolm, once he and Muhammad met, Malcolm took over where the other guy left off and really nurtured Muhammad Ali in the life of a Muslim.
Okay.
And then they're ripped apart.
I know what happened, but I won't.
And
I won't spoil it.
And I'm sure you know, because you're from Chicago,
right.
Geno. And
I know who. I know the person that caused the split. I won't give it away.
Right.
Yeah. There's a person. Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know the story. Right. So many people do, but I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So that you can enjoy and watch. But it was I hurt all over again because of the rift in that relationship.
Yeah.
And the way that the end of the documentary is with Malcolm's daughter. She speaks, and she can hardly keep it together when she talks about the regret Muhammad Ali, it chokes me up.
Wow.
Died with, because that relationship was so close. And then he had to watch Malcolm be murdered.
Yeah. God.
So he never got to mend it.
Wow. And his daughter.
And Muhammad would go on to leave the Nation of Islam. He would still be a Muslim.
Yes, he did.
But he would leave the Nation.
Yes.
So it, and he never spoke of it, not publicly again. But the end of the movie really shed some light on Muhammad's feelings.
Wow.
And how he reached out to
Malcolm's family.
Children.
His daughters. Wow.
Daughters. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is must see
Absolutely.
TV.
Can I throw one in here, Key?
Yeah.
We didn't talk, but let me throw one in here. And I thought about, I didn't get a chance to mention it because, before last weekend, my world
I know. That's
you've been there. My world was okay. I got to get my daughter in school. I got to come up with this money. I got to get these folks money from last year. And these folks, colleges, you work at a place of higher learning. And it's big business. I'm telling you, they don't give a damn about your feelings, your emotions. You could have went bankrupt. You could have lost your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. They'll be like, that's sad. However, we're going to need this money so she can go to class and so she can get an apartment or student housing. Otherwise, holler at you later. They don't want to hear nothing, Keith.
Nothing.
Ain't no conversation at all. Ain't no negotiation. It's just, look.
No.
It is. What are we doing?
You got the money?
Right.
Money?
Before you ain't gonna see no key. The poor child can't enroll in no class. Near a one.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing. And this is not a let it slide kind of situation. If that tally is not cleared from the year before,
woo, Key, come on.
we not going any further. You can't pass go.
Right.
No go.
And you better hurry up and get that taken care of. So that was my whole world. But I wanted to talk about, so speaking of great documentaries, I haven't seen it yet, but I think I'm going to put that on my list for this weekend. So there's a documentary about Rick James.
I saw it.
Oh, did you? So he has a daughter named Ty. So her and somebody else did this documentary called Bitchin'. And Rick James is a bad dude. I got a story, but I don't want to draw that. Listen, we got a lot to cover, so I don't want the show to go too long. But I do have a Rick James. I will share this Rick James story one day. But the documentary is called Bitchin'. But I want to share this with the viewers. So according to Rick James's daughter Ty, there's going to be a movie, like full screen, big movie production at the movie theaters. Now we don't have to go to the movie theaters. We can just, eventually it'll come out on demand or whatever.
Are we talking biopic?
Yes. And guess who she wants? She has already chosen. They have not worked out all the final details.
Dave Chappelle.
No. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 more guesses. I was gonna ask you to guess. But
I can't even guess.
Really? You don't want to take another shot?
Okay, let me
It's
see.
not a comedian.
Okay, not a comedian.
No.
Okay, Leon is not funky enough, so let's X him out.
Okay. I won't even count that guess.
Okay, you won't count that guess. Okay. Oh, the Killmonger actor, Michael. He too cute and short. He can't play.
Well, wait till you hear who she.
Okay, I can't because all I see is Dave Chappelle.
I think no, not Dave. No, not Dave. Well, she might be mad. My daddy look better than Dave Chappelle. What's wrong with you? She is already selected, and I guess there's been conversations. She wants Terrence Howard to play Rick James. I can see that though, because
you can
persona. Now they may not look. Well, I met Rick in person. Have you ever met Rick James in person?
No.
First of all, okay. Terrence and Rick are not that far apart complexion-wise.
They're not.
No.
That's right.
And if you put them braids in his head, it can be believable. But you know why I think Terrence will make? Because Terrence has that edginess.
That intensity.
He kind of got that I don't give a F, IDGF.
Yeah, right.
He got that thing going like Rick had.
Okay, so Geno, let me just say this. If Terrence Howard can pull it off, then he's going to get an Oscar because
he's a good actor though, Key. Now I don't
I'm not saying that he's not a good actor. I am saying if he can pull off Rick James. And I get where you're going now that I think about it. Because what people don't know about Rick James, because they're just used to seeing Mr. Funk on the stage and, the blunt and the Mary Jane and the sexiness and all that stuff.
Right.
What they don't know about the man from Buffalo, New York, that lived in Canada, is that he is highly intellectual. And Terrence,
you took the words out of my mouth.
That's who he is. So, okay, I'm kind of coming over to your side.
Let me throw this in there. Now, even though he thinks he can sing, he really can't sing.
Please.
But for the movie, they could lip sync his part. And now, in all fairness though, of course, he's in no way in the class of Rick James as a musician. But he is a legitimate musician, Terrence Howard. So you can give him a guitar and he knows how to make it look real because he actually knows how to play a guitar.
He knows the chords.
Yes, thank you. He ain't Rick James, he ain't Prince, he ain't even Rick James, but he can still play a guitar. He can know how to strike a chord and make it make sense.
So where's Rick James? There's only one Rick James.
And you know what? Let me real quick, and I just want to give Rick this love because I did get a chance to meet him, and I remember when you and I came out. See, what people don't realize, Rick actually came out about that hit you and I hit in '77. Prince hit right behind that. When he came out, he got right behind that.
Yeah.
But you could see,
going into the 80s.
And from what I believe there was a little bit of kind of little rivalry thing going on.
I mean.
And you saw the documentary. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil, but do keep in mind, Rick James became famous and charting when you were talking, but Rick James had already been performing for years. I mean, since he was,
and he wasn't doing R&B, and he didn't look anything.
Oh, right.
And he didn't look anything like he did on that You and I album.
Right. So, but the sound was still there.
Yeah. Because
even then,
kind of like George Clinton, because the P-Funk, the inventor of the P-Funk. Like if you look at the early
process.
He was
a barber.
I was about to say George Clinton was a barber, so I just wanted to throw that one in there in terms of viewing Bitching. It's a documentary about Rick James's life. So would you give it a 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up since you've seen it already?
Oh, I give it 2.
Okay.
And my reasoning is because it was a well-told story.
Okay.
His daughter and and other producers, writers, editors, kudos to them because they put together a comprehensive story about Rick's life. Okay. It was like gliding through somebody's life,
really
easy,
wow.
At a nice pace, and you missed nothing. You felt like when you finished watching, oh, I know Rick James.
Wow, that's high praise.
It was excellent.
That's high praise.
And kudos to her. Okay. I hope she is recognized for the work that her and the team did on that project. Bitchin' is excellent. I believe it's Showtime, Geno. Was it Showtime?
I don't know. You might be right.
Yeah, I believe.
Just Google it. Google it. You'll find it.
It'll pop up. Yeah.
All right. What else you got, Key?
What else we got? Heck, I don't know. Okay. We're not talking about 911 just yet.
No, unless you want to go there. So.
No. I'm trying to think of what else we had. We had. Well, I do want to say that just to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Michelle sounded great. Now I don't know who is fussing.
You like well? Come on now, think about it. So it had a jazzy kind of vibe to it.
Imagine if Billie Holiday,
really,
her voice. Wait a minute. Imagine if Billie Holiday's voice was strong and she could belt. Really belt it out.
Okay.
That's the feel. It sounds like classic Michelle Williams. It was tasteful. I just think people are hating on her. I don't know why, because she is different from Beyonce, and Kelly is just kind of like a different version of Beyonce. Michelle is Michelle.
Right.
She is totally unique.
Michelle's the south side of Chicago. She's a Christian church girl from the south side of Chicago.
And I had no problem with what she did.
Well, the haters, let's say the haters are gonna hate anyway. So, and it's the national anthem. So think about it. Think about the flack and the feedback that Marvin Gaye got when he did his rendition of the national anthem.
Famous. And now, to this day, it is famous.
Yes. Iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic. Okay, that's
I'm sure when Jimi Hendrix played the national anthem that time on the guitar, I'm sure that, listen, there's going to be some folks, just because if you're melanated and you do the national anthem, they're going to find something wrong with it because you did it. Because you ain't supposed to be singing the song for some folk. We understand that this is America, so we just gonna keep it moving on.
Right, and the one that everybody seems to agree upon that was great was Whitney.
Right.
I mean, that's the one. That's the one. The other thing before we go into 9/11 is R. Kelly. Just to update, the trial is still going on. I think we got another week of this. I'm just gonna hit this.
Take another week.
Jump out because I know it's exhausting. But the testimony that we got today was from someone we hadn't heard from before, or one of the people, because I think 2 people spoke today. And this one said that she was an intern at a radio station. She was trying to nab an interview with a big celebrity who happened to be Robert Sylvester Kelly.
Really?
And so they said yes. They flew her on a plane and to go with Robert or R. Kelly, and took her to his place. Now, just to pause for a second, at that point, she should have tried to jump out the plane, because in radio, no one's going to fly you, an intern, to.
So what city, Key, did they say what station, what city?
What? No, they didn't say
They
because
want to
she's Jane
protect her
Doe.
identity. Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
she's Jane
But
Doe right
so
now.
they flew her. So apparently,
Flew her, Geno.
so
So
she
you and I both know,
she's not
which
from
is going to
Chicago.
lead.
So she was in some other city,
Right,
and they flew her to Chicago. Okay.
right. And you and I, which is going to lead us into our 911 conversation, both know that an intern starting out at a station is not going to be flown
Before the PD and the music director and like the morning, the AM or PM drive personality or the personality that's the biggest star in the market. Just
Come on.
before the PD, before the program director, really?
Honey,
Or
the
music
doorman
director.
would be there before an intern. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
That
that is
should-
just so poor baby.
That should have been a
Poor
red flag
baby.
right there.
Right. So they fly her out, and when she gets there, they put her in a room and starves her for 2 days.
Wait, put her. So
In a room,
wait.
and his yeah,
No, because you say they flew her in town, then they put her in a room. Or
in
a
his
hotel.
house.
Oh, in
in
his house.
house.
Okay, I'm like, okay, was it a hotel or what?
No,
room
in his house.
Oh, wow.
Shut the door, locked it from the outside,
What?
so she can't get out.
What? What the hell is that all about?
And they didn't see her for 2 days. She was starving.
What the? Why did she say, why?
So, so the third day, they come in and give her some food, Chinese food, she said. And then she felt drugged and she fell out.
What?
The next thing you know, she got up. Robert is putting on his pants. And she, let me tastefully say this. She has moisture somewhere on her body, and she doesn't know why.
So she's raped.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That is what the charge is in her instance.
How did she get out? Did she talk about that?
So after
Oh my
Robert
God.
leaves the room, closes the door, they keep her for another 2 days. And then somebody comes in and tells her, well, threatens her, don't you dare say a word because you don't want to F with R. Kelly. And they sent her back home. Flew her back home.
Wow. So she was gone a total of, they locked her
5 days, 4 or 5 days,
2
5
days.
days, I think.
So they locked her for 2 days. The third day,
Then
they
the
gave
third
her
day is when,
Chinese food.
Yep. And then 2 more days.
So they drugged her with some Chinese food.
Basically, she said it must have been
that drugged
something.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some kind of
Groupie
ecstasy
or
date rape
Spanish
drug.
fly. What do
whatever
they
you
call
wanna
it now?
Right.
What do they call it now?
Molly's.
Molly's.
So basically, she was drugged, raped,
Yeah.
and then they locked her up for 2 more days,
Yes.
and then let her go home.
Yes.
Key. And
So I just wanted everybody to get caught up on
wow.
the latest. I think we got another week of this.
This and let me just say, this is hitting me because you know, because when you and I worked together,
Yeah.
I talked about how when I first met this dude in Los Angeles, before he was R. Kelly,
Right.
when he was part of this group called MGM Grand.
MGM. Yeah.
MGM Grand, that won they were on, Natalie Cole had a show called The Big Break.
Yeah.
And she filmed it in Los Angeles when I was out there in 1990s, the early 90s, and they were the grand prize winner. And his manager at the time was somebody that I knew from just social circles in Chicago, and they were staying at the Sheraton Universal in Universal City, California, where Universal Studios are. I'll never forget. And so his manager called me, said, hey man, look, I want you to listen. I'm going to represent this dude, blah, blah, blah. I go in, he has a boombox, he plays his music. A couple years later, Born in the 90s came out.
Yeah.
And so basically what I heard 2 years earlier was Born in the 90s.
Wow.
So,
Right.
and a lot of it's knew that he had things, especially, for young girls. We didn't really know how young, because a lot of times in the industry, he was really careful. He didn't do a lot of this stuff because you and I both been at industry functions.
Right.
So, and just even in Chicago, but the more that I hear, because Key, listen, I got to get this off my soul, and I got to get it off my spirit. And I know I'm wrong, and I don't care, and I shouldn't advocate this on camera, but I'm telling you, there is no way, and I get it. She may not have wanted to tell her, her dad or somebody in their family.
Oh, well,
she don't want to get them in trouble.
No, you don't. Nobody believes women when.
No, I do, and I'm just telling you, God, is there a God in heaven? Please, I have been able to live 5 decades and never go to jail. But I'm telling you, Key, I will be Samuel Jackson, that scene in A Time to Kill when he was on the witness stand and he said, I killed him, damn it, and I do it again. I'm just telling you, Lord, please, don't because you won't need a trial. I'll do like Killmonger did in Black Panther. I'll come to the police station with a big old body bag and just throw it right there on the desk. So you're like, okay, y'all here. I'm here. That's what you're looking for. That's who you're looking for. I did it. So let's go and let's go. You can stay to trial.
This is what how I feel, your passion. And I can't even compare because I'm not a father. Not that a mother feels different. It's just a different.
Yeah, it is. A father and a daughter. Because as a dad, that's the only really job we have, Key.
Yeah.
As parents, but especially as a father, as a man.
Protect.
And then protect your daughter. You protect your son because sons are being violated and molested and raped. But
like R. Kelly.
Yes, but your daughter, it just hits different, Key.
Yeah.
Oh, it hits different for a father.
Yeah, it does. And so that's why I say I can't even imagine what that would feel like for a father. As a mother, I think I believe I feel the same way.
Knowing you.
But I am, for the people who, are standing outside, because I read a story today about the woman who plays Step in the Name of Love every day when R. Kelly walks, not when he walks in the corridor, but before the lawyers start walking in the court. I said, okay, listen, you gotta stop.
Thank you, Keith.
You gotta stop.
You got to.
This man, there is too many crumbs leading to the loaf of bread.
And let me just own up, because, there's a part of me, because people who were in the industry, that knew him through meeting him in the industry, I'll speak for myself. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but right. I knew him pretty well because I knew him before the rest of the world kind of knew him. But even folks in Chicago knew a lot, but not to this extreme. But a part of me feels guilty because sometimes you would hear stuff. Now, I was gone. I left the last time I worked. As a matter of fact, the last time I actually worked in the media at home was '95 when I left there and came to work with you. Mm-hmm. So a lot of this stuff really got crazy after then.
After you, yeah.
And it explains why, just the cordial relationship we had, it began to, he began to distance himself from me. And now I understand it. But I just feel, I feel part of me feels responsible, even though I didn't know, but it was just, we heard so much.
Right. And you want to believe that you could have done something.
Yeah, Keith,
if you had even a inkling.
Keith, there was a writer, and I think he still works for the Sun-Times, Jim DeRogatis.
Yes, he's the one who broke it.
Yes.
All open.
But Keith, I remember when he first started writing about this, and
years ago.
And folks weren't trying to hear him. And Kelly's people, you know, they know how to spin it. They was like, oh, this white dude is racist. He's jealous. He's trying to take a brother down. And, you know, we got to consider the time.
Yeah.
But and I've said this before, the most unprotected, undervalued, underappreciated, just devalued person on the planet is a black woman. Mm-hmm. Nobody listens to a black woman. Nope. And unfortunately, too many of us as black people, black men and black women, don't listen to another black woman.
That's right.
And that ish has got to stop. There are too many countless number of women whose lives, and some men now we're finding out, but the majority of his victims were women, young babies. And it's easy, and let me say this, Key, it's easy to demonize R. Kelly because he's the public face, but a lot of this is going on in our households.
Yeah.
We got uncles, we got fathers, we got stepfathers, we got brothers, we got nephews. Cut that shit out. We as a culture, and I can't speak for anybody else, we as humanity need to stamp that out. But definitely we as black people, we've got to create a culture. Maybe the others will follow where it's unacceptable. I don't give a damn. There's no excuse. Yeah, I get hurt people. But if you that hurt, you need to holler at me and we can get you a therapist. But you are not going to hurt somebody else. Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't even know we were going there.
Right. We have definitely got to break the cycle that molestation in families and child raping and
child trafficking.
Yes, child trafficking. Trafficking of even adult women and men. This is all. I mean, and it's not just R. Kelly. We had Epstein.
Yes.
You know, I mean, so this is not exclusive to any particular group of people.
Thank you.
You know, this is just a thing, an ugly that has got to be stamped out. And I there is no other way to say it. This has got to stop. I mean, if a black woman is in the middle of the street on fire, nobody stops. They just say, hey, she's hot.
And black men, we as black men, now I'm saying it, damn it, I don't care who don't like it. But we as black men, any man worth his salt, any woman that you really love, there's only two things you really want to do. I don't give a damn what nobody says. I'm telling you, I've lived on this planet long enough. All right? So I'm an expert on a man. I can't speak for every man, because some men do some stuff that I would never even dream of doing. But any real man, those are only two things you want to do, especially for someone you love, be it your wife, significant other, be a spouse. It could be a mother, a daughter. You want to provide, you want to protect them and provide whatever security and in whatever form that security comes, Key. I mean, physical, emotional, financial. You want to protect and provide peace of mind, whatever it is. That's it. You love somebody as a man. You protect them, damn it. Animals in the wild do that.
Yeah.
The male lion protects the female lion and the young lions. Come on, man. We're better than some damn animals. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
No, but before, as we transition, I just like to say, and there is a psychology in why a lot of men don't do the right thing. And it's because they've either done it themselves, it was done to them, they know somebody who's done it. And so it's the ugly little secret that never sees the light of day. Right. Everybody knows it's happening, but nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to deal with the persecution. Nobody wants to be embarrassed because they were the one that was violated. The one who is often violated is then made to feel like they've torn the family up. I mean, so there are a lot of social repercussions.
That's true.
Familial repercussions that happen when this is brought out into the open. So Just keeping everybody up to date on the
Right.
latest.
Thank you
Again,
for
I
that.
think it's 1 or 2 more
Yeah.
weeks left
And
in the Brooklyn case, and then they'll go back to, I think it may be New York next, or back to
back
Chicago.
to Chicago. Keith, thank
Yeah,
you for doing that. Let
yeah,
me just jump in, and then you can go to 9/11 or
yeah.
wherever you were going to go. I'm committed to doing a show, uh, and I'm gonna dig deep. And I had one person in mind. I know you got a team of people. As a matter of fact, she's a therapist. She's been on my guest, Tanel Jones. I don't know if it's going to be her, but I'm going to make
Right.
sure that I'll get some therapists and some experts in mental health and abuse and some, working with men
Hmm.
that have been victims who become predators or what just this whole
Hmm.
because we it's gotta you know we can't just just Uncle Joe and just lock him in the
And put
room
them
with
in a
girl
closet. Right,
don't go
right,
back there with Uncle no damn
right,
that
right.
fix him he
Yeah,
need help get him
yeah,
some help why the
yeah.
hell you got him in the house you don't want to get him help come on
And just
now
for clarity, everybody who abuses does not become an
that's true
abuser. You have examples like Tyler Perry. You have another example, Donnie McClurkin. Um,
yeah
Now, I'm not saying that they have not suffered, because I think both of them spoke candidly about suffering with their sexuality because of that.
yeah
But and I think Donnie McClurkin just recently said he just is not in a relationship,
wow
man or woman,
wow
because he doesn't he doesn't quite understand the man woman relationship, and yet he doesn't want to be in a relationship with a man. So he's just said, I'll just be Donnie.
yeah
So everybody doesn't um, go back and perpetuate the same crime
right
against someone else. Um, but it does require some healing.
yes
And so we gotta heal. We gotta open up, get the dirt out the closet, clean it out, and be fresh and new.
yes
It doesn't mean it's not gonna take some work,
it is
but
going to
we
take
can
work
be fresh and new.
and it's going to be uncomfortable very uncomfortable and
Yes.
it's going to be painful but
But you
sometimes
can
to
be
heal
healed.
thank
We just spoke. Did we say that at the same time?
yes
Knock on wood.
yes
You can be healed.
two spirits align
Amen.
right there yes
Amen. And speaking of healing, Gino, it occurs to me that as we are approaching tomorrow, the 20th anniversary, and I don't even like to call it an
me
anniversary,
either
but
that,
yeah, the 20th
that's why I
year.
said it marks 20 years because I'm the
Yes,
same
marks
I'm right
20
there with you
years.
yes
Yeah, because anniversary rings of celebration.
thank you
And so as we mark the 20th year of the terrorist attack in our country, um, I think of this. I have seen many angles of the story that took place that day when those 4 planes went down. But the one story I haven't heard is about us. At 8 in the morning, 7:45, thereabouts in the morning, you, me, and millions of media personnel from around the country were getting up to go to work or having their coffee and whatnot and watching the news. For me, it was Good Morning America, just like we always do because we're junkies for information. And so I don't think anybody in the media, unless they were asleep at that time, missed it because we're always watching news. And those planes hit. I saw the first plane had already hit by the time I caught a glimpse of. I said, "What is on? Is that a plane?"
yeah
But then I just saw smoke and I said, "Oh, maybe the building is on fire." And I thought I saw a plane. But then I saw another plane approaching, and I said, "Well, what is it?" I said, "Now here is this." My brain just went, and I said, "Is that plane carrying water for that?"
right because you couldn't conceive what was really happening
Right.
that makes sense
And I said, "Okay, maybe they have a plane that carries water because I don't get what this other plane is doing and why it's so low." And I said,
yes
and the next thing I know, I saw it disappear, which it didn't disappear. It hit the building, but from that perspective, you couldn't tell that it was crashing. It just kind of whoop. And then
from that camera, that camera shot
yeah,
that you
the
saw.
shot that I saw, and then it was boom. And I immediately said, "Oh, we're being attacked."
Did you really?
I put on my clothes.
Wow.
Because I'm a news hound. I said, and I don't know who's attacking and why, but this is an attack. Okay, domestic or foreign, this is an attack. I went to the restroom, brushed my teeth, slipped on my clothes, got my daughter ready. I took my daughter to the station, called my niece and said, "You got to come and pick my daughter up." I said, "And prepare to pick your children up from school too."
Wow. Wow, Key. You were.
And then began, I think I was at work 24 hours. I didn't go home. We had people delivered food to us, but that day, ironically, it was my job, 9/11 of 2001, to get the court systems cleared and get the parents aware that kids needed to be picked up from school.
Oh, wow.
Because remember, everything shut down.
Yes, it did.
And
yes.
What I want to say to the audience is, you see us cackling, laughing, and doing all this great stuff. I got on my media shirt today. You guys can't see the writing, but I to celebrate the media today, or honor the work that the media did that day. Listen, we laugh, kiki, we have jokes, we report serious stories, but what you don't know is that radio and television was actually created, and it was really created for the military, the radio, so they can communicate with each other, right? When it reached us, the mainstream public, the agreement was this: you can use this tool that is used by the military. You can rent it, because no person who owns a radio station owns the airwaves. You can rent this space, the airwaves.
You can have a license.
That's right, a
to
license.
Use the frequency.
But the promise is that you have to take care of the public.
Yes.
So if anything should happen, they got to know. You have to have systems in place to inform your audience that something is going on. That is why you get that aggravating message from the EAS.
Yes, thank you. Emergency alert system, because the federal government can and will take over every broadcast, radio, and TV airwave in America.
That's right. So you get a little lesson.
And in essence, that's what kind of happened for me.
That's exactly what happened.
Because for me, now so I was doing an afternoon drive show from 2 to 6 in Memphis, and I'll never forget. So I got a call from, I think, I don't know, maybe that night before I had a public opinion. I had an appearance somewhere, probably a venue, whatever it was, club venue, whatever. But I remember, so I got two cousins. So I got a cousin I went to college with, and he worked. As a matter of fact, I think he may have been still at CNN. And he called me. He just said, "Cut on." I said,
"Was he in Atlanta, CNN?"
Yeah, he was in Atlanta. And I was like, "What's going on, cuz?" He said, "Cut on the TV." I was like, "What's going on?" He just said, "Cut on the TV." And it hung up. And then I have another cousin on my wife's side. She's a flight attendant. Mm-hmm. Not even 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes after he called me, she called me and said something to the effect that we're being attacked, plane flew. Yes. I was like, "What?" But by then, I had the TV on.
And Geno, remember, they had to get all those planes landed. Any plane that was up in the sky. And for some people that you think, "Oh, that sounds, what's the big deal?" Listen, you have hundreds, thousands of planes in the air flying at one time. That's chaos. That's like trying to play a video game and picking out this plane to land here, that plane to land. And it was, but you know what? I got to applaud America, the media in America, our national traffic, highway safety, all that. I gotta applaud because we we live our lives and we don't think about how important people like we are. And so I just wanted to honor my fellow media uh, peers and colleagues, Geno, you, because the music had to stop that day.
And it did. As a matter of fact, what we did, Key, that one of the local stations that we had a partnership with, we basically ran their audio feed.
Yeah.
And they were running their net because all the local stations, whatever network that let's say ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, whatever, their networks took over coverage. So there was no sports, no soap opera, nothing. And what my station did, and I don't know which local affiliate, but one of the major networks, we just ran that audio feed because it was non-continuous. Beyond 24, probably about 30 hours, almost maybe 40,
Yes.
Definitely over 2 days, 48 hours. It was nonstop. It was just continuous coverage 911. That was it. And we ran that audio. So whatever news was on whatever network it is, that's the information that our listeners got.
So for those who don't understand, Geno is saying basically imagine that your TV, you watch Channel 7 News, they're ABC. What would have happened and what did happen is that you didn't see your local ABC, you saw the national ABC come on. And the same works for radio. I worked for, at the time, a CBS station. So CBS took over. But in the Detroit market, the station that I worked for at the time, WWJ, was also
a news station.
Right. And you have certain stations in each market per, area of coverage that has to be responsible. Even though you're not reporting on the air, you have to be responsible for informing the public in different ways. So we were allowed to do cut-ins to inform parents. If you have, we would just find a space, a time when we thought we could slip in. Okay, parents, if you have to, all parents, please pick up your children immediately from your school. Do not drive beyond the speed limit. Everything is okay, but we want to be sure that you have your children. Schools will be closing down. No child will be left alone in a building. They will be waiting. Someone will be there. I mean, we had to say this. So I had to get all that and courthouses. So you have to, it was, and then as we close, I wanted to say that just on our show today, you and I, this moment in time that we have together, nobody ever thought about the trauma that we went through that day.
Yeah.
We had to leave our kids so that we could make sure your kids were safe. We didn't know what was going to happen any more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And because of the kind of station that I worked for, I wasn't even allowed to leave.
True.
Because there are some stations, and actually most stations, in an emergency, you can't, if you're on the air, you cannot leave.
Right. Because you are dependent on to get vital information to the public that could save their life. So you are the conduit. I mean, you are that vessel. That's really what these radio and TV stations. That's why they gave you the license. That's really what we're for.
Yes.
Yeah, we play music or whatever, sports, but local. But that's really what we're for.
Right.
And
that's the agreement that on your license. That's what your radio station, television station license says.
That's your sole purpose, truly. Now
that's right. That is your sole purpose.
You can generate revenue by playing music or talk or whatever, sports. Right. So Key, let me try to button this up. I want to close this. I think this is
okay. Before you close and button it up, Geno, just let me tell the people. The next time you hear boop, don't get an attitude. Say thank you, Jesus. Okay, Geno, go ahead.
Right. That emergency alert system. That means because if something really crazy is going on, that is your cue to like, okay, the issue is about to hit the fan, so you know what's going on. I just want to close. I want to share this because it's going to relate to the times that we're living in now, the polarized times, the rise in white nationalism and hate in all its forms against blacks, against Jews, against Hispanic Americans, Mexican Americans, those from Latin America, those who are not necessarily white evangelical Christians, the hate against gays, lesbians, trans, the hate in different, the white on white crime, the black on black, because a crime crime is something, here's the biggest predictor of crime: proximity. People who are close to each other, when I say proximity, that means they're pretty close in terms of geographically. So the majority of people, white people, are killed by white people. The majority of black people are killed by black people. The majority of Hispanic people are killed by Hispanic people, and vice versa. Go overseas. So crimes are really a product of proximity in a way. People that's closest to you is easier to get to. I just want everybody to stop and think about this. September 11th, 2001, those 19 hijackers in those 3 planes, those 19, well, actually 4 planes. Those 19 hijackers in the 4 planes, the 2 planes that flew into the Twin Towers in New York City, the 1 plane that flew into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., the 1 plane that was en route to the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C., that crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, some little small town, Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Those 19 men, and I'm using that term loosely, that had passports from Saudi Arabia. The planes that flew into those buildings, they weren't just trying to kill white people or black people or Hispanic people or gays, lesbians, or trans, or Jewish people, or Italian and Irish. They were trying to kill Americans. They didn't see, it wasn't like the brothers got like a call or a text message. Somebody walked into the barbershop and said, hey man, y'all might not want to go to work today. No, none of that happened. White folks didn't get a special call like, hey, you might not want to go to work today. No, they didn't see this made up racial construct, this made up hierarchy that I've been talking about for the last 2 days about race that was created basically in the 1670s in Europe. So a small group of people could somehow designate and create a hierarchy, a difference to say, you know what, because we have this pigmentation, we are superior intellectually, morally, spiritually, that somehow we are going to create this hierarchy to where people that look like us with no pigmentation have more value than people who have more melanin. But them hijackers didn't see that. They didn't give a damn about that. This virus, COVID-19, that has killed nearly 700,000 Americans, COVID-19 didn't just say, oh, I'm just going to kill white folks. Now, black Americans are dying at 3 times higher rate. Why is that? Because of the racial disparities in the healthcare system. And unfortunately, for a lot of different reasons, black people are more predisposed to get certain illnesses that COVID-19 feasted on. But a whole bunch of white folks died. And black folks and Hispanic people and Asian Americans and Native Americans, Irish, Italian, German, Jewish, Polish, Lithuanian, Eastern European, Russian immigrants from every country on the planet, all around this world. Do you understand? This virus is like, y'all can trip if you want to on this racial foolishness, but this virus, it don't know no racial boundaries. It don't know no ethnicity. It knows human bodies, and it is looking for a human host. And Key, I say that in closing is that I hope that it's like the universe, Mother Nature, God, whoever you want to attribute it to, is trying to tell us something, Key. Stop with this foolishness, as my grandfather would say. Stop with this foolishness. Learn to live together as one or perish as damn fools. Key, thank you, my sister. You bring out the best in your brother. Love and respect to you. It's always a special show when your energy.
I wish I had my fan. that was church worthy.
Hey, listen, I wasn't trying to go to church. I was just trying to just speak from the heart and understand that really at the end of the day, can we understand that really we are really members of one race, the human race.
And like you said, God is trying to tell you something right now.
So you better not just listen, you better wake up and act on it. Keela Carson, simply the best. Love and respect. I love you, my sister. Have a great weekend. You know your number one fan is waving, saying hi to you, my girl.
Hey, Mom. Yeah. Anyway, I just loved when you visited her, but that's another day.
Okay,
but,
we'll talk. We'll do that.
I kept playing it over and over.
Did you? Oh man.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. So that could be a whole show, Key.
Yeah.
So
that was so sweet.
We might have to do a special edition just on that. So I'm trying to get her on the show. We got to get somebody over there can show her how to do this Zoom invite thing. So we'll get it together. Have a great weekend, my sister. Thank you.
You too, everybody. Love you, and God bless all those families who sacrifice for our country.
Keela Carson, ladies and gentlemen, simply the best. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please subscribe, share, and like the Geno Jones channel. Subscribe, share, and like the Geno Jones Show. Share it on every platform. Man, this episode was fire. Please send this episode to everybody you know. Tag it on everybody's social media page on Facebook. Copy the link and tag it on people's Twitter page and Instagram. Grab some of this conversation, put it on TikTok. Grab about a minute or two of it, put it on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook. Put it in your story, put it all over YouTube. Do that for a brother, all right? Please. Shout out to all those. If you'd like to advertise or be a sponsor on the show, I'd love to have you. If you're looking for the ultimate pitch man to help build your brand and your business, help you generate sales revenue, I'm the king of pitch men. Holler at me, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell it, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist of the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up. Alexandria Jones and Bruce Gage, official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Alexandria Jones, Lexi, Lexxie, space Nicole, Nicoe, Nicole, Lexxie, underscore in the beginning, space Nicole. And Bruce Gage, just do a search, type in Bruce Gage, it's Gage. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, I really do. Each and every one of you. Mother, you know I love you more than life itself. Have a great weekend. Take a moment of silence, meditation, prayer, all the above, whatever it is you do. Think about those that lost their lives, the men and women, the first responders, the men and women who lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan after 9/11, after September 11, 2001. Be sure to honor them. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Like I said, you and me, Tuesday, be the next show for certain. We got some studio work to do on Monday. So my tech guys are gonna come and get some studio work done. Now, if they can get it done before that, great. But the next live episode will be next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. And until then, like I said, thank you so much for watching. And as always, one last thing, be blessed. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.